live. We're going to be drawing some portraits of writers this morning. And I'll see if anybody is here. I had to stop the other one and restart a new one, so hopefully you guys have figured that out, but I'm not sure why it's not showing up. Oh, tech issues. Let's have a look. Two waiting for that one. I think I can get rid of this one. I don't think YouTube likes it when I have a couple that people are waiting for. It looks like I'm live. I'm not sure what's happened. Let me just try and sort this out. I need to delete this one. Yeah, it doesn't like when you have a couple of lives going on. So let's have a look. Is anybody here this morning? Aha, Marianne and Alexandra. Bonjour, good morning, how are you? All right, so we are drawing writers, and Julie added Salman Rushdie. This is a great portrait of him. Then we have Paul Auster, another great portrait. Can zoom in a little bit. That would be good for a quick one because there isn't too much detail in that one. And then we have Toni Morrison. Hi Amita, hi Janice, how are you? I love this one. Maybe I'll do a longer one of Toni Morrison. And then Virginia Woolf, which is classic. Love this one as well. This is a painting of Virginia Woolf. And then I added, everything is a little bit slow today. I added a whole bunch of retro typewriters. If you weren't into drawing portraits today and you're part of our Patreon group, then there are a lot of typewriters which I have found from Unsplash. So those are images that you could do as well. Maybe we could do a couple in the background of some of these writers. So I thought we could start off with doing some quick sketches. What is today? Today is Thursday. It's Thursday already. I thought we could do some gestural portraits. So, you know, how they're standing, how they're leaning, how their weight is, and do that for some of them, and then work on like a half an hour portrait. Or we could do that, or we could do each of them on one page and have a little bit. We could do some line drawing as well. What do you guys fancy? Do you want to do some warm-ups, just some line drawings, and then we'll work into some lengthier portraits? Good morning, Meryl. How are you? It's Thursday again. It's Thursday. Okay, let's do that. We'll do some full page portraits of each of these, maybe a 3-minute one of each just to get warmed up, and then work on maybe some longer ones. All right, and I forgot to put in my Instagram yesterday that that we were going to be live this morning with writers. Okay, let's start our 3 minutes. I'm going to try and get the weight and the how the person is leaning on or sitting, or just try and get their body gestures down. Jen says, good morning, just painted for about 15 minutes, getting ready to take my daughter to college orientation. Ooh, that's exciting, Jen. I hope it goes well. She doesn't start until September though, does she? All right, your 3 minutes starts now. I'm just going to put who it is. Make sure I spell Salman Rushdie right. I wish I was more of a reader. I spend a lot of time doing art and that's my choice. And then when I listen to books, but I don't have time to read books. I should make time. Whenever I make time, I fall asleep because I'm so tired, which isn't good. All right, there's the lean of his body, and look at his shoulders, his head right here. He is leaning on these books. Look how large his hand is. I mean, your hand is quite large, like it is as large as your face, but I feel like it's a little bit larger here. I also need to correct this. So make relationships between your, like the limbs that you are drawing and the face. Maybe this can be a quick sketch and then you can work over the top of it to make it a longer one. No, it didn't quite fit his hand in. I was very impressed with everybody's hands the other day. Not very impressed with mine. That was for sculpture, wasn't it? Yesterday. Feels like a long time ago. All the books. Get his sleepy eyes in. If you're joining, do you have a favorite writer, author? Okay. Doesn't really look like Salman Rushdie. Sorry. Salman Rushdie. There's your 3 minutes though. Hello Amy, how are you? Okay, I'm going to come back to this because I think I really like the lean that I've got on him, which is what I wanted. I wanted to get that, but I want to adjust his face to actually look like him. So I'm going to come back to that. So we're just doing 3-minute sketches of the writers that Julie added. This is Paul Auster. Is it Auster or Auster? Auster, isn't it? And I'm going to zoom in slightly. He too has one shoulder dipped and dropped behind him. All right, so your 3 minutes starts now. I would start, if I was you, with the chair that he's on and looking at the angle of the chair. And then get the knees where approximately they are in relationship to the chair. And then the angle of the leg, how it goes back. And he has one shoulder up, one shoulder down. I'm exaggerating it a little bit. His hand is here on his knee. knee in, his shoe here. It's all foreshortened. And then this one as well. I'm going to look at the space in between, right here. Make that out here a little bit more. How much time do we have? 1 minute left. Angles. Make sure you get your angles right. And his ear is really close over here. I'm going to fit him in. Ooh, I've made him look much older than he actually is, I think. I think it's his eyes, because he has a lot of shadow underneath what we call the bag of the eye. I need to pull his hair back a little bit. And this needs to be further up. Okay, that's your 3 minutes. And that was Paul Auster. Amy says, author I like is Louise Erdrich. Janan says, I can't hear because I'm in the car with a napping baby, but I'm watching. Oh, you're looking after your baby. So sweet. Your daughter's baby, your grandchild. He's so sweet, Janan. Really lovely. Okay, we're just doing 3-minute quick sketches. And I've just run out of pages in here. That's okay. I'll go to this sketchbook. I have to do a flip through of work that I've done in the past month, I think. These are from yesterday's, from our class that we had in Jordan, in the Middle East. Really enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying this month, this past virtual art retreat. I'm in two minds whether I should do another one before I leave for England. I may do it. I know that a lot of people are probably so done with doing classes, but I may do it and just keep it as an on-demand class, because there are some countries that I still want to go to, and I have to keep practicing, and it's good exercises for me to keep going with this, so I may offer it as an on-demand and just film it and then put it up there. All right, let's go to Toni Morrison. I have a couple of her books and I have not read them. See, that's where I get referred books, I buy them, and then I don't read them, because then I get all these art books as well, and I look at them and read them, and then, yeah, I just run out of time, that's why I need more time. I need more time. All right, let's go to Toni Morrison. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't a Y. Are we ready? 3 minutes. 3 minutes starts now. Does anybody else have that problem? I know that a lot of you guys are great, are avid readers. Like, it's not like I even sit and watch TV. I'm in my studio all the time. That's probably when somebody says, oh, well, you're so prolific. I'm like, well, that's because I'm not doing much else. I'm just doing my art. But I have been listening on Audible, which I'm really enjoying because then at least I get through some books. I just finished The Longevity Project. Don't ask me the author because I will check who the author was. Really interesting about why people live so long, the kind of diets they have. Oh, she's got such a lovely face, and I need to lower her eyes a lot. Yeah, so that was really interesting. If I'm walking alone, then I'll listen. If I'm walking with my friend, I don't usually listen. So recently we've both been very busy and just been walking the dogs on our own, so that's when I always take my earpods and listen. All right, so she has her shoulder, one shoulder here, down, and her hands. Neck. Hand that we've got to fix. Yeah, I think I'll come back and work on each of these a little bit longer, maybe put some color on. Jen says, my husband's grandma lived to 104. He says it's because of all the turnip greens she ate. Well, it's quite interesting. They're saying that you really should include, your time is up. You should include food that your ancestors ate because that's what your DNA is made up of. So when we introduce things like, say I introduce quinoa salad, and those are ancient grains that my ancestors in Northern Europe didn't have. They didn't come over to Europe until like in this century. So, or Northern Europe at least. So I should be eating things that, you know, that my ancestors ate, like berries and cabbage and potatoes and, you know, like the more earthy greens, and a lot of fish. Yeah, so it's really interesting because they say a lot of allergies are brought about because people are eating things that they have never eaten in history. So you don't have to eat everything that your ancestors ate, but you should include things from their diet. I thought that was really interesting. Okay, let's see. What do we have? Oh, we have Virginia Woolf. So we're going to do a 3-minute one of Virginia Woolf. And your 3 minutes starts now. They talked about this one lady, I think the oldest person to date was 122, and there was this one lady who was 117 who lived in this town in Italy, and when he was studying for this book, The Longevity Project, he went to this town in Italy, and there were 4 other centurions there in that village, and he asked them what they ate. And apparently you're supposed to eat lots of legumes, vegetables, protein, but fish or white meat, like chicken rather, up until you're 65, and then you should have a very high protein diet after that, and still eating legumes, like, but more legumes, healthy proteins, not like red meats and everything. And this is the kind of diet that they all ate. And then not overeat. Overeating is really bad for your body. 2 meals a day with one healthy snack. Basically, you should starve yourself. No, I'm joking. It just gives you more energy, and your body isn't having a hard time processing, which makes sense. Okay, I can't, oh, her shoulder's actually low in here. That was the shadow in the back. I wonder if Julie knows who painted this picture. Hi, Esty. How are you? Yeah, it's a really interesting book, The Longevity Project. It talks about fasting, about intermittent fasting, but a little bit different to how, you know, the intermittent fasting is nowadays. And they said, you know, within, like in history, there's been a lot of religions that just fast naturally, but they've taken it a little bit extreme now. So, you know, Ramadan, they fast during the day, but then they feast too much at night. So kind of goes against that whole, the good of fasting, because then, you know, they just indulge after the sun goes down. Okay, that's your 3 minutes. This was Virginia Woolf. I didn't get her other hand drawn, but what I want to do is go back and draw all of them. How is Esty? I feel like I haven't seen everyone. Well, even though I saw Esty at the weekend on Zoom. I can't believe it's Thursday. Like, the week is flying by. All right. Let's go back to Salman Rushdie. What is the time? We have... Okay, we have 7 minutes for each of them, just with a little bit of time in between. So if you want to work on a 7-minute sketch, if you want to put some color on, yeah, I think I'm going to, I was going to work in neo colors, but maybe, what shall I do? What shall I do? Maybe some markers? Yeah, maybe I'll do some marker art this morning. Good morning, Maria. All right. Oh, I set the timer for 3 minutes again. Okay, so we are drawing writers, and Julie added some writers. She added Toni Morrison, Virginia Woolf, Salman Rushdie, and Paul Auster. Is it Auster or Auster? Auster. Auster. Okay, I've just picked some colors, and I'm going to set the timer for 7 minutes, because that's all you've got for each of them if you want to work on each of them. And you can work on all of them at the same time as well if you really wanted to. All right, 7 minutes starts now. I do need skin colour, and I would like to, I think his eyes are too far apart. I think that's what it was. Today is my last day of virtual art retreat, and we are in Jordan again and we're doing portraits. I'm excited for that. And then this weekend I sent out Patreon meets for this Saturday. It's Father's Day on Sunday, so I'm sure a lot of you, if either are celebrating your spouses or you're celebrating your fathers, if they are here with you still. Yeah, so Sunday, I put both meets on Saturday. One is a sketch and draw, and we have lots of lovely images from C and from Leslie, who was recently over in, Leslie was recently over in Ireland and has sent over some beautiful images from there. And then the other one is just going to be a catch up and chat, or catch up and draw, so you can bring anything that you want to bring with you and we'll just draw and chat for an hour and a half. I need to work on my art battle. I have my images, but I'm like oohing and ahhing. I'm like, do I change the angles? Do I modify it slightly? Yeah, it's all that stuff. Trying to get a little bit of likeness of Salman Rushdie. He has a beard, or a, which I'm not sure if I should, let's have a look, see if I can lighten up a little bit here with the awl. Maria and Essie, you're both writers, or readers, writers. Who are your favorite authors? Oh, I'm so sorry, Salman. I've got an orange. How much time do you have left? You have 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Hello, Licky Design. Nice of you to join this morning. Oh, I think I made his head too small, like this bit needs to be a little bit higher. That's what's the problem. Gray. And a bunch of books here. His window frame is not green, but I just wanted to add a little bit of color in here. And then get some more of his stripes on, because they really didn't show up with the marker, did they? When you're doing stripes, you can, if you put the folds in, then you can add the stripes up to the fold, and then it'll look like there's a direction of the fabric. So for example, over here I'm going to put the fold in, and then I can work the lines from there. It separates it a little bit, and it also keeps you from getting a little bit overwhelmed, I think. All right, there is my Salman Rushdie. I think I don't know if it looks like him. I don't think it looks like him. See, this is why I give myself another extra little bit of time, because I look at it and go, oh, I need to correct that. Yeah, Maria's like, that's a big question. Toni Morrison, Alice Walker, Jason Reynolds, Elizabeth, how do you say that? Acevedo, Guadalupe Garcia McCall, Celia C. Perez. Okay, let's move on to Paul. Is it Auster or Auster? I need to be saying it right. It drives me crazy when I don't know the pronunciation. Okay, just gonna put that here. I'm gonna zoom in slightly. Okay, your 7 minutes starts now. Yeah, that's a big list, but you are a librarian and you read a lot, so I'm sure there are probably others that you're missing. Do you feel audiobooks interpret books differently to how a book is, like when you read a book, do you think it's interpreted differently if you listen to it on audiobook? Like, because it's not your voice reading it, it's somebody else's voice reading it? I don't know. do you think it makes a difference to like liking different authors if you just listen to books? That's a weird question, isn't it? Like, as readers, when you listen to a book or when you read a book of the same author, do you feel different about it? Do you feel like you don't get the same voice in your head as when you read it? I think that's what I'm trying to say. Looking at all his darker values on his face here. Something's up with his hair, I think. I brought it down too close to his eyes, his forehead. Maria says, I don't know. I couldn't read Harry Potter's books, but I listened to them on a cross-country trip, and it was much better for me to understand. Okay. So some books are better in audio, and some books are better in... and some books are better in, like, actually read. Do you think the Harry Potter books had intention of being made into a motion picture, or do you think that came, like, do you think she wrote it to be a motion picture? I'm sure that's hard for a writer too, but some writers are probably more like they have that producer, right? They're producers as well as writers, or producers or writers as well, like they write as well. So I don't think she knew, did she? I think that was just all. Okay, I need to get some books in the back here. What's the time? 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes left. And get some just some shelves. I'm going to use this line because that's going to help me. I'm not going to get all these books in. Can get a few. Oh, I missed out a line here. squished everything. I think it would be great to have a mural of the books that you read, and you draw one book. Every time you finish it, you put it on the wall. I think it would be really cool. And then you wouldn't have to house all these books, although it's nice to have them. I do have, like, I have shelves of books. I have lots of cooking books. Maria says maybe they are so visual when writing that they can see their stories as scenes in a movie. Maybe you're right. All right, we're going to Toni Morrison, and let's get started on this. You have 7 minutes. Again, I'm going to be using markers and pencil crayons, Neocolors. I'm going to zoom in a bit. I'm assuming that Julie just got these images off the internet. They are not. I'm just taking inspiration from them. They're just studies. So we're halfway through June. We're almost in summer. And I was thinking ahead, because June we know really what we're doing. It's workspaces. But in, oh, I don't know, where is July? July should be somewhere. I have May after June, and that's not. In July we are doing all the colors. So, but I need a theme for July. Here is the July month. So a theme would be really good, really helpful, because I think once you have your theme, you can apply those colors to whatever the subject is. So my idea this morning, as I was showering, I was thinking, what could I do? And I thought I could revisit every country that I've done in my virtual art retreat and take one image daily from different countries, and and not necessarily a landscape, it could be a portrait as well, and use the colors that I have put in the calendar for the month of July. So that was an idea. Or we could just take random objects or images from your camera roll and using those colors. I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts? How we can use the month of July's colors? Because the prompt is all the colors, and I've listed a whole bunch of colors. I don't think it may be too much for people. Why is this crayon so dirty? I should really put some thought into cleaning some of these. I mean, I like drawing places, but some people want portraits every day. I don't know, what do you guys think? You must all be drawing frantically this morning. I think she's definitely colourful. We have 1 minute left. The ochre that I put down first was way too muted, like it was a little bit flat. If you are just joining, we are drawing writers today, and this is Toni Morrison. I should have had either Julie Maria or Jen on this morning, our bookish people. Could have talked about writers with them. All right. I like this one of Toni Morrison. Not sure about her eyes. I think I kind of lost them a little bit. Okay, let's go on to, we have 2 more to do, and we only have 1 more 7. Oh no, we only have 1 more to do. We have Virginia Woolf. That's it. Let me put a piece of paper in here. All right, let's have a look. I'm going to work on everything other than her face and keep her face quite light. So your 7 minutes starts now, and that'll take us right up to time, basically. And use my woodies. This is good practice for our class today because we're going to be drawing portraits from Jordan. Not of my daughter Jordan, from the country Jordan. posing with a cigarette. I guess it was fashionable to smoke back then. All right, I need to get some color on her. Oh, and I need to just add back here in between this space here. Get some grays on her hair. Sharpen this one. It's Thursday today, so that means there is a Drawn Together with Dylan, Sarah. I can't remember the name of who he has, his guest, on, but he is on today at, I think it is 3 p.m. Eastern. And then the Visual Arts Passage has their Drawing Hive this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. I have to go grocery shopping after my class, and I have an appointment. Somebody who wants a couple of portraits, pet portraits, so I have to go to that. And yeah, it's Thursdays are always busy, but always great because you get a lot done. If you haven't done Dylan's, it's really lovely just to listen in on it and just find out a little bit more about the artist. Actually, I think I'm doing a Drawn with Dylan next Thursday again. So sweet of him. He said, well, Shannon also said, come on, maybe you know, we can chat a little bit about what's happened to you with Instagram. So we'll see. Hopefully it'll be back by then, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I had a weird thing happen on my other account as well. If you guys don't, like, you don't even have to get Substack as an app, but if you don't follow me or Beth on Substack, and if anybody else has a Substack, please let us know. You can just add it to the chat in the bottom, and I will add my Substack in the notes here. Head over and just subscribe to my Substack. You don't have to read it, you don't have to, But if Instagram does take like all my accounts down, which I'm really like kind of scared that they may, like they have that power to do it and I don't have any control over that, then I'd like to have a place where I can post what's happening, what I'm doing, because I will still be on YouTube on here, but it really is kind of scary how we rely on this platform for so many things. So yeah, it's a great place actually, Substack. There's lots of writers over there, not just artists. There's very interesting, a lot of interesting people to read their Substacks. It's like a newsletter. I guess it's like what used to be Blogspot or WordPress, and people moving over to Substack. All right, it is time. We did a few portraits of Julie's favorite writers, and I'm sure some of yours as well. Paul Auster. I'm going to call him Paul Auster. He may not be Paul Auster, but so we have Virginia Woolf, Salman Rushdie, Paul Auster, and Toni Morrison. Thank you everybody for joining. I will see some of you later, and I will see a lot of you this weekend. Check your Patreon emails because I have sent those out with and hopefully I didn't make too many errors because I wrote them late last night. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.